Good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me and see the screen? Yeah, good morning. Let's see. So, you know what? Today we'll go through. Okay, so we'll go through HPLM today. Okay, so HPLM is Hewlett Packard Application Lifecycle Management. Okay, so far we discussed about um, Rally. Okay, we discussed about Jira. We discussed about today we discuss about HPLM. So all these are test management tools. You will not be using all of this at once at one place, but in multiple places you might be using differently. Okay, so not necessary you have to use everything at once. So let's check pretty quick here. So did any homework is pending today? Okay, good. Yeah, some people have written homework, right? And okay, you guys. Okay, good. So let me check really quick. Yeah, this is what actually I was expecting. Just put on your um this location so that that's good. I guess I hope everyone have access to this. Okay, so don't want anyone saying no. I didn't have this access. I don't know what to do. See, that's not an answer. If you're not getting an email, you have to request me because you're not getting the email. But I'm sending almost all of this. Okay, through email. Okay. So all this access stuff, I'm actually if you're not getting it, you need to request. Okay. So I hope everyone have access to this. So I hope people are doing this. Okay. Even if they're not doing homework, I hope they're trying to understand what is the tool about, how they are, how to use it, all those things. So we check. So this is test plan where you may not write always the test plan, but you'll be giving your inputs. Okay, so what you need to do, and what are the various features that need to be added, what are not to be added, and all those things. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, that's good. Only two people. Please check one more. So you need to put your name. Okay, so that's how I know, like you are doing that. Okay. Otherwise, I would not know. Yes. So, all this, okay, this. Okay, good. This is what I was expecting, write some of your own, and you need to come up with your own scenarios, because then you need to do your own brainstorming. Nobody will tell you at that place. Okay, okay, good. So only two people. Any more? Anyone who has written homework, which I don't see here? Okay, so okay, so so is this? Let's check the. Okay, it defects. You guys have opened a lot of tickets. That's good. You need to, as a QA, as a tester, you need to open a lot of tickets. Okay, so okay, so okay, so today we talk about HPLM. Today HPLM. Tomorrow we'll just go to QTP, and Friday we just take a certification class. Okay. So what? So HPLM. So this is again one more test management tool from HP, Hewlett Packard. Okay, and let's see. These has 4 various modules. If if you can see here. So that's a requirements. So let's be here. Requirements, test plan, test lab, defects. Okay. But you see here more. If you see here, you are seeing more than what actually it is, right? So that is all depends on your access. So if you are a Scrum Master, you will have more access, and you might not have this access. If you are a developer, you will not have this testing options, nothing. If you are a manager, if you're an architect, if you are a developer, QA, ETO, Java developer, all people have a different access level. Database administrator, okay, database administrator have a different access level. They have this access too, but they have different access level. So here at this place, you have all this, all access combined. Okay, so that's the reason you see so many options here. But really, you may or may not always have this option at your workplace. Okay, or not necessary. Okay, it's not like it's a guarantee or something like it's not necessary that you have all these options at one place. Okay, so. So major, major modules which are required by a tester are requirements module, test plan module, test lab module, defects module. See, there's four modules for a tester. Okay. Okay, if you want to go beyond that, that's fine. You can go ahead and look into it, understand it. But you know what? If you want an explanation, something, you come up with some random explanation saying that, hey, what is build server? No, I'm not going to explain you what is build server. That's not even your access point of view. If you see this, it's a management perspective. So it's clearly shows here that's a management perspective. So build server, of course, it's have a different access level, different people, middleware people, or developer level people. All these people have this. Okay, so don't expect after looking at this, explain this module or explain that module. Okay, I'm not going to explain it because not that I don't know, not that like I don't want to, but it's really not required at this point of time. Okay, why? Because you're a QA guy. You're not a developer. You're not a tester. You're not a Scrum Master. You're not an architect, right? Unless you're an architect, you need to have some experience as a developer. If you're a developer, you need to have some experience in testing. So that's how you move to a higher level, right? You cannot move just directly to high position before knowing all this. Okay, so that's the reason you really don't require all this at this point of time. Okay, so for different modules, requirements, test plan, test lab, defects. Similar to Rally, if you want to check it out, how this Rally, but Rally doesn't have this modules kind of thing. Here they have it. Okay, requirements. So what is the requirements? Requirements module. Let's see here. So requirements has, it's like you say user story in Agile. Here you say requirements. Okay. So let me check here. Let's say there are so many requirements here. See this? There are so many, and you need to find out which requirement does it belongs to your. Okay, I know I got. Okay, I got it. Okay, now this is my requirement. GMO online. Okay, now I see there's a lot of options here. I see this. There's a lot of tabs here. Okay, now this is a requirement. Really, you don't have access to edit anything. You are not supposed to edit anything. You are not allowed to edit anything. Okay, so you just need to view this. Okay, because you need to only view this, not to do anything here except viewing. Okay, because you're a tester, you don't really have that access to edit anything. You don't have access to create any new. So you're not expected. No one expects you to create anything here. Okay. And this is the requirements, and you have a lot of options here. Name, what's the function, what is the requirement tab? Is functional, non-functional, performance, testing, what is it all about? You have an option here, and who is the author? The author, in sense, who is the business analyst, who is the product owner, and who is the responsible guy, basically, okay? And the creation date, when you created it, and all these options should be filled, okay? Not by you, of course, by product owner. And once is there, what's your job in this? What's really your role in this requirements module? Your role is used to identify the information what is written here. So here I made it simple. GMO post only this, but really you might have some bunch of information like 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs saying that this is what you need to do, and don't expect cakewalk. It's not really that simple. You need to coordinate with the team, saying that okay, what's going on in the project and what exactly is required. What is expected from this. Thing you need to understand by yourself. Most of the time, you need to understand by yourself. If it's not, then you need to check it out with your lead, saying that okay, so what testing we are performing here, how many types of all those things you need to make sure with with the lead. And once it's done, now you're doing functional testing. Okay, so let's say this is the URL, and if you want to, here you have options. You can navigate this option. Attachments. If there are any attachments, such as any requirement document or a functional document or any specification which is required, screenshots, whatever. If it's there, that's good. If it's not there, just don't worry about it. Okay. Then. If it's any link defects here you want to see, really, it's not really this point of time to understand what's the link defect, but link defects is something which is a previous, like we have this backlog, right, which is previous work which was not completed. This is moved into new release. So that's the reason there's open defects on that, and this is linked to this requirement saying that previously it was not completed, now it's linked with this, so now this has become a requirement. Okay, previous defects or previous impediments have now become requirements in the next release. Okay, so that's how they link this. So this cannot be closed unless requirement is closed. Okay, so that's link defects and development activity, and this is updated by developer. And there's RTM. This is called something called RTM, that is requirement traceability matrix. We'll talk about this. So RTM is all the test cases should at least match one requirement. That's called requirement traceability. Okay. What is RTM? Requirement traceability matrix. All the test cases should at least match one requirement. So we'll see about this. How we can do that. Test coverage. Okay. How many test cases has covered and how many not, you see here. And then we have business model. Normally you have this access, or if you don't worry about it. This is really not required for QA point of view. And again, this assessment is not really your job to do anything. And basically, you may not have all this access because this is the requirements. Okay. No, the requirement is to only view the requirements, nothing else. Okay. So you want to see here and view this, that's it. That's the requirement module. Okay. You need to, I know the requirement is there are a lot of projects going on here. This is easy, this is nothing. There may be thousands and 10,000s of projects that is there, and there are sub projects and super sub projects. You need to figure it out which really belongs to you. Okay, that's your job to figure it out. And not always, they will be, telling you directly. You need to figure it out by colleagues, or you need to check it out with someone else and saying that okay, or is here don't okay you do this search bar, right? I don't think this works. You know what, you need to figure it out by yourself. Okay, sometimes you need to search if it's there here. You want to filter it. You know what, oh, okay, good. You know what, you can filter it, find which, where is the date and which product you are looking for, and filter it and find it, then you find your requirement. Okay, so that's how you have to do. Or it might be written in a requirement, I need to check from there too. Okay, so let's say you figure it out, this which project you're working on. So this is the GMO requirement, and we'll be working on this one. Okay, so this is all about requirement module. Any questions in this requirement module? Okay, so now let's go to, so you have this requirements. Let's go to the next testing. So in this testing, test plan. So there is this something called, this is called test module. Okay, this is test plan module. This is, so don't get confused with the test plan that we have discussed. You know what, I've told you the test plan before, that that's a document, right? Where is it? Okay, here we go. So I told this is a test plan. Now what are you talking about? Here is a test plan. What do you mean? Okay, so you might get confused. So don't get confused on this test plan and this test plan. Okay, if somebody asks what's a test plan, that means that actually looking at a document. Okay, so test plan is a high-level document prepared by the lead. And then if they ask in specific on that, okay, what's the test plan module in HPLM, then that makes sense. That means, okay, so in the test plan, we create test cases. Okay, so that's a different document altogether, and this is a module. Okay, nothing to do with each other. Don't get confused. Oh no, you said test plan document, now it's a test plan module. No, the two things are different. Okay, here test plan, this is a module. This is a module in ALM. Okay, this used to, why you use test plan here in HPLM is to create our test cases, right? I mean, whatever test cases you want to write it, and whatever edit your test cases and all those things only in test plan. Okay, that's about test plan. Okay, so in the test plan, you only create your test cases. Test lab, so what exactly you do in the test lab, you execute the test cases here. Okay, so here you have different, this is the old tool, that's why you have a little bit traditional way of doing this work. Okay, this is traditional way, so you might not understand at the beginning. It's really hard because it's really confusing here. Okay, but here's the thing, what is test plan is used for? Writing the test cases, that's it, no questions. What is the test lab? Test lab is used to execute the test cases, that's it. You cannot, if somebody asks you, okay, how do you write a test cases in test lab? Straight answer is no. We are not going to write any test cases in test lab. We are only going to write test cases in test plan. Okay, that's it. Test lab is only used to execute the test cases. Now we'll work on that, how to pull out and all this. And then we have defect section, where defects. This module is common in all. This is used to open a defects and submit to the respective developer, or who is the respective person responsible. So normally the owner of the defect is always a developer or architect or whoever is guy, but not a tester. Okay, that's the description of this module. So let's go to the test plan module. Okay, now Okay, again, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, there's a lot of projects here. You see this, right? This is nothing. I mean, this is easy to find out. So, but in real time, will be pretty random. And there will be as I told you, there will be sub directory and super sub directory. You need to figure it out which test cases you're working on, which project you're working on. Let's say I figure it out mine. Oops. Okay. Here you go. Now I figure it out mine. And what you need to do is, let's say you figure it out which project, I found my project. Now in that project, there are sub projects. See this, there are sub things. So what you want to do always is, this is my personal suggestion. You don't have to do it. This is my only, my personal experience. What you can do is, you can create your own name. Just like some people have created their own name. Okay, and write the test cases in that. Why? Because that will help you out in which project you're writing on. Because you might work on 2 projects, 3 projects, I don't know, many projects which is not listed here. You might log out, log on, different, different things, different domains, different environment. So what helps you out is, okay, so if it there is my name, I can search it through filter. You know what? Even if I forget the project name or something, I would go search as a filter here, let's see, filter. No. Okay, good. Now, you know what, let's see. Okay, so here is the thing, I can set as a filter, and I will get the information where I'm looking for and what I'm looking for, and I'll get, for that one. So that will be easy for you if you are going to write your name. Otherwise, it's up to you. It's not mandatory or something. It's like, based on your personal experience, so that it will help you out, where you are exactly writing your test cases. Okay, so let's say, okay, so these are all test cases, right? Let's see. Now, I want to create a directory. Again, you need to create a directory based. Always make sure you create directory. Click this directory, and so what you're trying to do is you're creating a subdirectory. Okay, and I'll just put name. And click OK. Okay, so what, this is really not organized or organized, so this doesn't get refreshed automatically. This is, what you want to do is go ahead and click on refresh. Okay, refresh all, that's F5. Click on that. Okay, great. Now it got refreshed. Now I know, okay, so this is the directory I'm working on. Okay, so somebody asked, right? So can you show which directory? Yeah, where I have created my test cases. Okay, so again, first and foremost is to figure it out which project you are working on. Okay, once you know that, there's a lot of projects here, right? Let's say, I figure it out. Okay, this is my project. ITM test cases. This is my project. Okay, now I figure out my project. Now this is an arrow, showing that. Click on that, and this shows sub directories in this located in that project. So now I'm confused. Okay, so what it has to do is these many. So that means a lot of people are working on. We don't care about it. What we want to care is what you are doing. Okay. Okay. So here I want to create my own test cases. So either way you can create your own name. How do you do this? Click on this project. This is a project, and click on new folder. You see this new folder? Okay. Click on that. That helps to create subfolder. Okay, wherever folder you're creating, you want to create subfolder, right? You want to click on new folder. That will help you out to create a new folder. Okay, does it make sense? Now, Okay, now I have just created a folder. Now what you need to do is you need to create a framework for your test cases. Now you want to write test cases, right? Now you cannot write test cases without a framework. The framework is provided by this ANM itself, but here's the thing. That's called, okay, new test. Okay, they want to call it as new test. Okay. So let's click on this. Before that, just copy this. And make sure where you're creating it. So always make sure this directory is highlighted and then click on this so that it creates sub directory for that. Okay, otherwise it will get created in wrong directory. Okay, you don't want to do that. Now this red color are mandatory and you need to fill all the information here. Okay, let's just put this. Just put this the same thing what is there in. You want to check it out, which one are you working on, manual or working on automation script or load runner or performance, so we'll just keep here as a manual for now. And so we have done all this, right? I mean, this is a different tool, but so we'll just put it as medium. You need to fill all this information, okay? Reviewed and not reviewed, we'll just put it reviewed, sorry, not reviewed. And the creation date is today's date. Who is the designer? Designer of the test case is QA. So whoever is responsible, right? And reviewer, who is the reviewer, means normally the reviewer is your lead. So put your lead name. And status, it's in design or imported or ready. Test effort, if you want to put some test effort, how much time will it require this? Test priority. Okay, you can fill it up there too. And description. If you have any description, you can go ahead and click on description. Okay, and click on OK. Okay, so now we have successfully created a. Okay, we have successfully created a framework. Okay. So these, okay, so somebody asked, right, explain about the various the various, yes, we need to fill up this information, right? So what are you going to fill is all this, we have actually done this in the rally too, remember? Even when you're opening a defect, I mean, even if you're opening a test case or defect or whatever, you need to fill this information, okay? Now, here we have little information, but there will be more than this. You need to put what is the project name. Okay, you need to put project name, what is the, here you're not having anything here, but what is a sub project and what is the version of this project and what is the module working on. So a lot of information should be put in because developer will not work. Okay, so here it's not really required, but you are working on test cases. But in defect section it's very important because developer will not work unless it is specified to the right guy. So this guy outright will reject your defect because information is incomplete or wrong information. Okay. Status is mostly will be design. Here you have options, right? Design, imported, ready, repair. So design in sense you are writing test cases. If it's ready, then that means you have already written your test cases and ready to review. Okay. And review your comments. Priority is, priority is the priority of your test cases. Okay, or the priority. So, for now, we'll just put it as medium. Okay, so somebody asked a question, right? What is imported? So, imported, right? Okay, status imported. Okay, so, the reason we have this one because, see, there's an option for HPLM to write the test cases in Excel and import into ALM. Okay, you can do that. Since you have seen it already. Let's show it here pretty quick. So you can write your test cases in the Excel sheet. Okay, and it should be of course the format. They have to follow the same format and all those things. and look at this, just like you can write it here itself, and it can be imported. Okay, it can be imported here. Okay, so that your test cases will get updated. Okay, that's what the imported means. Okay. So, okay, somebody else in the test tab, will we always select manual? No. Here we have selected manual because we have done manual, okay? But if you are in automation, if you're working on script, QTP scripts, and all those Selenium scripts, then you need to select as automation, okay? Now, no more manual because you're working on, but yeah, as a QA, if you have QA, normal, you go as a normal, default, okay? Okay, any more questions? Okay, so here, you know what's, okay. Now you have this different modules here, details, design steps, parameters. Parameters not really required for a QA. If you are working on scripts, QTP scripts, you write some parameter, you assign parameter. Attachments, no, I mean, there's really not very need of this attachment here, but yeah, of course, if you have attachment, you can put an attachment. Comment coverage, link defects. This is really not required, to be honest. I'll tell you why it is not really required here. This is, I would say this is really defect, this is defect. Because one would not explain why this defect section is here, and then also in the test lab too, because, this is really not required. I'll tell you why, okay? You'll just get confused if you know too many things here, okay? So that's the reason. You don't want to know a lot of things here. What you only want to know is go with design steps, that's it, and write a test cases here. Okay, let me do this. You know what? I already have these test cases, we've been writing these cases from, from starting. So what I'll do is, I'm not going to explain these test cases again. What I'm going to do is, I'll just copy this. Go ahead and click on copy and this, and put it in paste. Okay, so I just copied my test cases from those guys and put it here. Normally you will do this similar thing. Okay, you may not always write test cases from scratch. Okay, you want to copy it and edit your own information based on your requirement. Okay, and once you have written these test cases, that's it. You know what? That's what you require only in the test plan. Okay, that's the only thing mostly. Or at the max, if you are a high-tech guy and you want to use a lot of things, you'll be max using attachments. Okay, you want to attachment. Okay, and requirement coverage. Okay, you can use this requirement coverage for RTM. That's it. You are not really not worried about all these link defects, dependencies, business model. Some people may not have access, and some people really not require this. Okay, so don't worry about this. Only two, or 2 or 3 things. Details. What's there in the detail? There's a comment. There's a comment. Design steps or attachment at the max attachment. That's it is required in the test plan. Okay. Now let's go to pretty quick. Okay. So here, this is about test plan. Let's go to the test lab. Okay. So let's say we have successfully created our test cases in the steps, and we have all this. Okay, you have an option to check in. Without checking, you cannot do this. So let's check in. My test case ID is 990. Now I want to check in. So just click here and check in. Okay. Okay, great. Now that means what is check in and check out, right? Check in is check out is like you're writing somewhere here and here it's not checked in. That means the test cases will not get executed or not get imported properly. There will be some issues in that. So it's better to check in. If you have an option, sometimes you may not have option. Don't worry about it. Okay. If you have an option, you can do this check in. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next pretty quick test lab module. Okay, so again, back to the basics. So what you do in the test lab, you execute your test cases. That's it you do. Okay, now again, a lot of projects here. The problem with this ALM is you keep on creating your name, use many times you need to do. This is a redundant work, but yes, you need to do. So there's a lot of projects here. You need to, figure it out which project you're working on. Exactly, right. Somebody asked, right, if you want to change anything, do we need to check out first? Check out, yes, that's correct. If you want to change something, you want to check it out first, okay? Yes. Okay, so let's figure it out, a needle in the haystack. So you have this lot of projects again going on. The same thing which happened in the test plan too, right? A lot of projects, the same projects will be here, different name or same name. You need to get used to this. Once you figure it out which project, let's say I put this same name. Okay, good. Now I know, this is the project, IT Maker Test Lab. Okay. Now what I want to do is, okay, you can create your name again. You can have this new folder and put your name, and you can get this something like this. So now once you get this, right, go ahead and click and highlight this folder and click on new test set. Okay, so what you're trying to do here again, you are trying to create a framework for your work. What all this is like framework. Why you're creating new things always, because you're trying to create framework to put all your stuff there. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do here. Create new test set. Oops. So I copy this. Set. Okay. Now you have three options: default, performance, functional. We'll just keep it at default. Okay. And you have this again. You need to fill up all this information. Change tag, base date, change by me, close date. Okay, we know close date 23rd. Created at date created by me. So all this information should be filled up. Okay, you cannot see this is red color. Then that means it's mandatory. If it's a black color, it's not not very important. But still, sometimes that black color is also mandatory. Okay. Print date, today's date. Who is the responsible guy? Should be me because test cases, status. Now again, you need to make sure it's open. If you want to build, now put the build description and create. Click OK. Okay, great. So now we have successfully created a framework to put all our test cases here. Okay, we only just created a framework here. Now what you'll do is, okay. Now what you want to do is go ahead and click on select test. So the moment you do this, there's a sidebar shows up on the right side, and so this sidebar is basically test plan. What you're trying to do here is you're navigating the project which is in the test plan. Okay. Now you need to figure it out which project it was. You should do that. Just make sure which one it is. Okay, so now what I want to do is either go ahead and click on this and click add test method. Does anyone have any questions? Or Okay, so you can either, does anyone have any questions? So I'm just muting it. Go on. Okay, good. Um, so you can either move this, okay, move this, and by clicking here and click on this add this set, or you can just drag it and put it here. Okay, so this will be will be shown here. Okay, now this is what you have written your test cases is clubbed all into one and it shows up here. You can pull up multiple sets. So this is called set one, set two, set. Okay, really there's no numbering here, but this is like set. Okay, one set, like you're writing for Firefox. If you're writing for IE, then there will be a second set. If you're writing for Safari browser, then there will be a third set. If you're also writing for Chrome, IE6, IE7, so on, Microsoft Edge, then there will be a lot of sets of test cases to execute. Okay, so this is one set. And you can look at this set. Once you click on this, you have a lot of options here. Okay, this is what you filled up, when you created it. Okay, and these are runs, all these attachments. Look at this, you have this attachment section. You can attach it. Link defects. Okay, so this is what I was telling you. Use this link defect. Okay, use this link defects for your information or attached run, or use only this. Not here. This link defect doesn't make any sense. You will just get confused. Why is it there? No one knows. Why it is designed like this? No one knows, because this really is not required here. Okay, you want to see here in the execution grid and check this and check it out here, not anywhere else. You also don't want to check it out in the test plan. Okay, now you have link defects here too. Okay, this is no sense at all. Okay, it's really not required. Where is it required? Only click on this and you see this link defect. This is what it's required, because if you are using this all these three features at once at a different thing, you will get confused. Which one is what, and which one you are working on. So really, that's all not required. This attachment is really it's not required. Okay. Now once you use this, now you need to run this. Okay. Select this set. Okay. Select this set and run it. Okay. Click on run button. Okay, if you want any comments, you can go ahead and write comments. Click on again run. Okay, so now here you have description. The similar way what you do here in Valley, right? The similar thing. You want to say that, okay, just open this URL. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to do this all. Okay, except Firefox, we'll just go to the Chrome. Okay, so here it says home page is GeoModel is displayed. Home page of GeoModel is displayed as per the requirement. Okay, and click on pass. Okay, click on enter GeoModel button. Okay, and what's displayed? Online catalog page is displayed. Okay, is as per the requirement. Okay, and click on pass selected, and then you have to enter this information. Enter value 10 for okay. Let's see that. Enter value 10. Okay, you click what? Click place an order. Okay, so this page is navigating here. The page is navigated to place an order page. Okay, as per the requirement. And click on pass, and page is redirected to billing information page. So you need to always, to start with, you can do this one at a time. Okay, you're doing one at a time, right? Open this and open the browser, checking it out. You can do this one at a time, or you can do first, scan all your, web pages, try to open any defects, or you can do that. Okay, that would be once you get experience, once you know a lot of information, then you can do, first you can do this, and later you can execute the test cases. but to start with, you can do it one at a time. Okay? With this. So, and let's say this is failed. Okay, so this test case is failed. Okay, so what you want to do is page is redirected, and then you found some issues. Let's say shipping and handling issue, right? And you want to fail this, and you want to write some information here like shipping information is on your graph. Okay, and want to fail is selected. Okay, so if you fail one step, all the test case set, whole set gets failed. Okay, so you know what, you want to end this run, it's located here. Once you end this, now this status gets updated as failed. That means you see this, all this information, it gets failed. Okay, so somebody asked a question, right? How do we do this in automation? Okay, so in automation it's little different. Automation, what you do, there is a scripts, okay, and you will be doing the similar process. Okay, you will not be, okay, of course you're not opening a simple one page and you want to do this. You're not doing that. First what you do is you might have this 5 to 6 test cases. That's it. Then that run the script, okay, and execute the script, and just 5 to 6, and saying that report any defects, any defects, run 3 scripts, run 4 scripts, and that's it. Those kind of test cases you'll be having in the automation. Automation is little different. Okay, manual you are doing. Okay, manual you're doing manually, so you are actually using two. This tool, and you're using simultaneously. But in automation, you don't want to use both of them at once. Either use one at a time. Use the script. Okay, what is the test case rules? One script might take 1 hour, might take 2 hours, might take whole day. We don't know. So that's the reason, right? You want to first look at the scripts and what is there, and then execute it, and then update your test case. Okay, make sense? Okay, somebody asked, right? So automation. So I'll be, giving you a class on QTP. That will be tomorrow. We'll just go to introduction on this QTP. Okay, that will be on tomorrow, and just giving some information, and then you just have some knowledge and code. Not really code. Will not just go into the code completely, but you just have some knowledge, so that even if you get a chance. So the point is, you don't have to go as a QA, right? You can go as automation tester, Selenium tester, QA analyst, ETL tester, data analyst. Always keep your options open. So that helps you to get a job quickly. Otherwise, no, I only know QA. I cannot do anything else. Then it will take longer time. So always make sure keep your options open. Okay. So let's So here's the thing. This gets updated, okay, and its status is failed. Okay, so that's it about test plan. Any questions in test lab? We have done in the test plan. Test plan, we have created our test cases. Test lab, we have executed our test cases. Okay, now let's go to the defects module. Now, you can, a little bit, if you have an idea, you can compare this. And whoever wants access to this, check with Tagore to get an access to HPLM. Okay, I really don't have access to HPLM because I really don't prefer HPLM. Okay, so I really don't have access to this. Okay, you can compare from here. Let's see if you want to compare. This is simple. See, as you have these various tabs here, right? They're just like test cases tab. Task tab, you see this similar way. You have this tab here on the left side saying that test plan, test lab, similar way. So the defects module, just like you have this defects tab here, that's that's how you can compare these two tools, and you can have this compare and study. Okay, when you compare these two things, you get a better idea saying what we have done before and how really it's close to a different tool. Okay, all tools will have some features at one place or other, but you need to figure it out. Which place does it have and where exactly does it have? Okay, so you can compare here, just like we have this defect module here, we have defects module here too. Okay, now again you need to open defects. Okay, go ahead and click on new defect. Okay, so before that, right, I forgot about this. We have this RTM, right? RTM, requirement traceability matrix. Let's go pretty quick on that. Okay. So what you want to do is in RTM, right? You want to make sure, let's say you have written these test cases, and you want to cover these test cases. So what you want to do is go ahead and click on test plan, and you have this requirement coverage tab. You see this tab, and click on select requirement. So here what you are trying to do is you are trying to navigate the requirement of that particular user story or that requirement. Okay. So I know what is the requirement is GM Online, and just either you can drop and down here just like this, or drag and drop, or use this option. Okay, good. Now I've just selected. That means, what does this mean? What is this and what does it mean? So this means that the product owner or whoever the business analyst looks at this saying that, okay, now this guy has written test cases for this requirement. Now I can proceed with other requirement. Okay, this informs. That means you are linked that requirements to this test cases. So business analyst says, okay, you have written test cases. Now I will move to the next requirements. It's like that. Okay, that's why this requirement is required. Okay, that's about RTM, requirement traceability matrix. Okay. Okay, so let's go to this defects module and create a new defect. Okay. So now here, when you click on defects, go ahead and click on new defect. So that's located in upper corner. All these are located in the upper corner. Even if you look at this test plan, you want to just new folder, a new test set, or you want to delete something, all these are located in upper, menu bar style. Okay. Even in the test lab, you have similar feature. Even in the defects, similar feature. Okay. So I don't think that should be an issue. Okay, so let's click on this. So what, we'll just write the same defect here. Okay, just this. Okay, I want to put some information here and assign to, if you know the developer, who is the developer, put the developer name, which browser it is, it's showing up, we'll put the browser name, what's the category, it's a defect, detected by, so all this information should be filled. Okay, language, detected date, February, it is not February, 11th. Estimated fixed time, again this is Java developer to use this. Product area, if you know what product area, what functionality feature is it, let's say some booking system you're working on, and what the priority, we talked about this priority, which put medium. If you have reproducible and non-reproducible, reproducible in the sense you can produce it as many times you want, non-reproducible, you cannot produce more than once. You want to talk to a developer about this and say, hey, cannot reproduce, but this is a screenshot. This is not happening every time, but this is happening sometimes. That you want to check it out and put in low severity, you just go for medium. And some of the features, if you put which environment you're working on, this test environment or dev environment, production, which cycle, to see this, close date, 23rd. Okay, once you fill all the information, what to put, right, So for more information, more or less use the screenshot. We'll just put this, reproduce this defect again. Okay. And we want to highlight this, what exactly the defect is. And we use this. Okay, so every tool has somewhere or other to put the screenshot. So that's the reason they have, right? They have that's the reason they have to put the screenshot. So either you can upload image or you can use this camera option directly just to use this. So we'll just use this one. This is too large. So what I can do is I'll just make it short and see that if it is visible as well as the defect is shown. So this should be good. And add. Okay, great. So now you can see this. This is the defect and submit. Okay, great. So I've just opened a defect. If you want to look, so this is the one 210 defect number. Defect ID is 2110, and this is what it's showing up. Okay. You want to fill up this red color information. Don't forget the red color. Okay. Okay. So this is how you can open defect. And again, make sure the problem with HPLM is you cannot open status with open. You want to first open it, then change the status to open. Okay, does it make sense? Once you open it, now it gets to the developer, it gets to email to the developer, or you can send an email like this. It really doesn't go here anymore, but you can check it out. Okay, so here you can send an email saying that, hey, I opened a defect. That's a one way, but really that doesn't work, so don't worry about it. And you know what, you have open defect, but you need to link here. Link what? Link your test cases to this defect. In Rally, we really didn't require this, right? Remember, but you still were linking here. Let me show you in Rally pretty quick here. Okay, so if you have that open defect, right? Here you have an option. Okay, here you see this project. Okay, what is the parent? So this is the linking part here. But really you're not doing any linking here, but you need to do it just manually. Okay, what you want to do is which test case does this belongs to? Okay, just go to your test lab. You know what's the defect number, click on this and go to link defects and link existing defect with the defect ID 2110, link it. That's it. Click on OK. Now the moment you link it, there's a link icon, chain icon shows up here. Okay, here's this refresh. Okay, good. Now this chain icon shows up here. That means this test case is linked. Okay, linked with what? You can check it out. If you click on this, it just shows up. Okay, so this is linked with this. And go ahead and click on here. This also shows with chain icon. To show up that, click on refresh. Okay, good. Now this chain icon. So this is about the defects. Okay. You can navigate this here. You can have this attachment. Okay, and link entities. You can link not just defects but the requirements too, because as I told you, right, this defect might become requirement in the next release. Okay, there might be a probability of getting that. And not only that, sometimes you open a defect, but some other guy has opened some defects. Your defect gets rejected, but you cannot close this because it's a defect, but developer has rejected it. But what you want to see here, you want to link that defect into this defect so that you want to make sure that defect, if that defect is fixed, you can close your defect. You cannot close defect just because somebody told you it's not a defect. Okay, you cannot do that because you're not taking orders from developer. Okay, you're taking orders from your manager, right? From your boss. So you cannot close it just because developer said to close it. Okay. So you cannot do that. So you want to make sure that other defects are closed to close this defect. Okay, that's dependent defect. So in that case, we can add other defects here. Okay, just add it here. You can add it. And there's any development activity, the developer updates here, so you can view this. If you want to write any comments, you can go ahead and description and write the comments. Okay, so that's what you can do all this in this defects module. So that's all about it in HPLM. Okay. Any questions so far? So again, all these modules is really not required for you. Okay. Why? Because these all modules depends on access level. Okay. Database administrator will have their own access. Database architect will have their own access. Dev architect have their own access. QA guy will have their own access, manager will have. So all these will not be showing you at once at one point of time. Okay, this will not be showing at once. Okay, for anyone, either you take a developer, you take Scrum Master, you take anyone. This all will not be showing up here. Here you showing up for your for your knowledge to know more, but you will not have all these access at once. Okay, management, you really not require management module, right? So you will not have this. And development, you're not a developer, right? You're QA. So this is again ruled out. You will not have, only 3 modules are important, that is requirements, testing, that includes test plan, test lab, and then defects. At the max, if you are a lead, you will be having access to test runs, right? That's right, test runs. You'll be having this access if you are a lead, QA lead. Okay. Now time slots, build verification, again depends on access level. You may not have that kind of access. Okay. So it's all, these all modules are based on access level. So don't expect you didn't explain this module, what is build servers. Okay. So this is management perspective. You can see this. Okay. Okay, so that's a very good question. Normal tester can't access the test run. Somebody asked the question. So here, let's check it out in Rally pretty quick. Here we have this test run, right? You see this? So test runs will be, you will be having access to this mostly as a QA. You'll be looking into it, but really you are not doing much of things here, You might have access to this test runs, okay, but really it's not really to do anything for you, okay, unless you want to see who's writing test cases or what you're trying to do, okay. You want to see all the test cases here, you can view this. Otherwise, test runs is for the lead. They want to check it out, how the team is performing, what the team is doing, okay. So, somebody asked a question, right? What's the difference between test run and actual execution? So these test runs are actually, it's kind of, past tense, right? Runs, which is already done. Execution is what you are doing to execute it. Okay, that's a different thing. That is done by the QA guy, QA tester. Runs is like how many it has ran, how many it has been, how many has failed, how many has passed, and how many has non-completed. To view all this, you have this module as test runs. Execution is a part of the QA job. Okay, that's a part of the QA job. And test runs is to view that information. Look at this. So what is status? Failed, passed, and all this will be showing up in test runs. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. So again, people who want access to this, go ahead and request to, Tagore, he'll help you out for the access for this, HPALM. Okay, so you can have access and you can look into it. Okay. Okay. So if no one has any questions, okay. Somebody asked the question, right? How do you check it out duplicate defects? Okay, that's a very good question. Sometimes, there have been multiple people who might be, using the same defects. So technically, there's really not a way. There's really, you cannot check it out, because people use their own language to write it, and you really cannot know how is that a duplicate defect or it's an original defect. Okay, you may not know because everyone has their own style of writing. Everyone writes it their own way. So you don't know unless somebody tells you. Okay. So the only way to figure it out which the duplicate is, check the developer, because developer will be knowing it, because the moment you go to the developer, will say, okay, this is defect is there. They say, okay, oh, you know what? This is already open. This is really not required. Now you want to check, okay, it's open by whom? Oh, it's a defect ID. What's the defect ID? You check the defect ID, he will tell you, or check with lead or someone, will check it out. So mostly developers will be, letting you know. So okay, somebody said, right? Can we delete new defect if it's duplicate? No. So my straight answer is no. You cannot delete it unless you have opened two defects at once. Then you need to, of course, close the defect. Okay, you can close the defect. You cannot delete defect. Okay, you have to close it. Okay, but if that's somebody else, let's say UAT team has opened a defect. Okay, but you have also opened the same defect. Now you cannot close defects just because it's a duplicate. You want to link it. That's the reason you want to link it. You want to see if that defect is fixed. And if that defect is fixed, really my defect is also fixed, you want to check it out. After that, only you want to close it. You don't want to do it right away. See, again, just because somebody said it's a duplicate, you don't want to believe, right? Really? You don't know what's really is there because you opened defect, somebody else opened something else. Of course, it might be duplicates, nothing wrong, yeah, right. But you want to check it out because there might be dependencies, okay. Because of that defect, you don't want your issue to get unresolved, right? If it's unresolved and goes to production, now you will get catch because why it was not issued, why it was not resolved before. Okay, you are the one to get hold of it. So you cannot delete, you cannot close a defect just because it's a duplicate. You want to check it out, that duplicate, do some R&D on that. Okay, why this is a defect, why this is not, and check it out if it's working or not. If it's really duplicate, you want to put at hold saying that, hey, this defect should get fixed to close my defect. Okay, you want to check it out and do that. Okay, you don't want to close it just because somebody told you it's a duplicate. No, it doesn't work that way. Does it make sense? Okay, any more questions? Okay, if no questions, can we close this class for today? Okay, thank you guys.